Well, good morning, everybody. It's Wednesday, so it's time for our 2-minute skincare drill. Coming a little bit early this morning, just because I got a kind of a packed day. So for those of you who are watching on the replay, thank you for joining. My name is Claudia Cometa. I am a pharmacist and independent skincare consultant, and I come here every Wednesday to provide you with tips and tricks to achieve the best skin of your life. So some Wednesdays I go over recent literature, and I haven't done that in a while, and there is a piece of recent literature that's pretty interesting, so I'm going to cover that today. And so there was a recent observational study done by Brown University that compiled lots of data from 3 large studies, and that resulted in over 210,000 people involved in this study. And what they basically looked at is how alcohol plays a role in skin cancer, and specifically melanoma, which is the most fatal form of skin cancer. And so we know that alcohol plays a significant role in other cancers, and we typically think about gastrointestinal type cancers. So, and that includes head and neck, and also liver cancer, stomach cancer. So we kind of have that association from previous literature, but we don't really think much about alcohol and skin cancer. And what this study found is that when we control for past medical history and sun exposure, and when we kind of look at alcohol consumption, what they found was that white wine, specifically white wine, not necessarily red wine, but white wine, every glass of white wine imparts an increase of 13% chance of melanoma. So each glass of white wine a day increases your risk of melanoma by 13%. Now, for those of you who are in the medical field or a little bit aware of statistics and how studies are done, you'll know that when we're looking at an observational study, we can't make a cause and effect relationship because this was retrospective. However, this association is relatively new to the scientific community, and so it will probably continue to be studied. But this association of melanoma and alcohol was not made for liquors, and it wasn't made for red wine. So researchers are looking into why this might be. The other interesting point is that the skin cancers, the melanomas that were found, the majority of them were not in areas that are typically sun exposed. So they weren't really in areas like face, neck, arms, legs. It was actually mostly trunk. And so the hypothesis is that there is DNA damage going on from alcohol, and it's not necessarily an increased risk from making our skin more sensitive to sun exposure, but maybe completely unrelated and maybe due to DNA damage, which results in skin cancer. So just something to keep in mind, especially this holiday season, as you'll be at a lot of parties where there will be alcohol served. And so keep that in mind. And the other thought is that although red wine may actually have some effect on DNA damage as well, its antioxidant properties may outweigh that. And so lots of hypotheses, but white wine specifically is now sort of implicated in potential increased risk of melanoma. So watch out for that. Always wear your sunscreen, but definitely watch your alcohol intake for multiple cancer reasons, including melanoma. Have a wonderful week. I hope that you enjoyed that. I hope it provided you value. If you know anybody who is a strong white wine drinker, feel free to share so that they get this education as well. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you next week.